Once again, I welcome you all to MTA 232 Elementary Differential Equation 1. So today we'll be talking about we continue where we stopped the last time. Then we're also going to move on to the general solution and the particular solution. And we see when you are having initial value problems, and we will be able to solve one or two questions and give you some exercises for you to work on, and we can also still solve it together. So once again, Segun Oke is my name. You are all welcome to this class. Then make sure on your Telegram in different particular centers, try as much as possible. If you can share the video, share the link with them so that others can also hear. You know, a lot of students will not look at their portal. Some of them don't receive the email. Some will receive the email, but they will not make any use of it. But today we continue where we stop. Let's look at this question. Question 1 for today, where we have 4y minus 3x dx plus 5x dy equals to 0. The last time we solved, look at this, we worked on a general equation which says y prime, this general equation we're working on, where we have y prime plus px of y equals to q of x. So then we use integrating factor. And our integrating factor we use is right here. This is the integrating factor we use to solve some of those problems. So it's the same thing we're going to apply to this. We apply the same principle to this one. Let's look at this. The general equation that I told you says the general equation is y prime. Then after the y prime, what next do we need to write? Let me write these two equations that you will need so that you will understand y prime p of x equals to q of x, where your y is the same thing as 1 all over, look at this, this is our y. So we use the same thing to solve different problems. So it's going to be y 1 all over integrating factor of x, whereby we have integral of, let's look at it, I of x, q of x, dx, I of x, q of x, dx, as you can see here, plus c. So these are the things we are going to be looking into. We'll be looking into this. So let's look at it. Our example for today. So when you have equation of this question 1, how do we solve it? It says that 4y minus, remember that everything you are doing, you must be able to come to this solution. You must be able to write y prime out. How do I get y prime out? When I have 4y minus 3x dx, and I know y prime, you can only get y prime when you have dy dx. But I have dx here. So what you need to do in this case is divide through by the x. divide through by the x. Remember? So we have 4y minus 3x dx divided by the x plus 5x dy, everything divided by the x equals to 0 divided by the x. Remember, divide through, that is divide both sides by the x. So the x cancel the x here. So I will have 4y minus 3x plus 5y, this is the y, the x, which is y prime, equals to 0. So remember, at this same point, we have y prime, p of x, y, that is, the p of x in this case have a coefficient of y, have a variable of y rather, then equals to q of x. So the only x here can cross to the other side, which is 3x, will be 4y plus 5y y prime equals to 3x. Now, we can see q of x coming out. We can see q of x coming out. If my q of x is coming out, what next do I need to do? I need to make my y, I need to write it this way, 5y y prime plus 4y equals to 3x. Remember, according to the general equation, our y prime must be alone. So how do I make my y prime to be alone? At this point, the y prime is still carrying f of y, fy, 5y. So what I need to do is divide again, divide through by 5y. Divide through by 5y. So for me to divide through by 5y, I will have it to be 5y y prime divided by 5y. So I can continue by saying plus 4y, sorry, divided by 5. Sorry, there was a misrepresentation here. This is supposed to be 5x, please. From the question is 5x, is 5x from here. So make the, you can correct it, it's 5y to be 5x. So divided by 5x equals to 3x divided by 5x. So in this case now, I have this cancel out. We have y prime. So at the end of the day, plus 4 over 5x, everything y, equals to s cancel x, 3 over 5. So where my p of x is equals to 4 over 5x, and q of x is equals to 3 over 5. Any question? Silence means no question. So don't forget, at this point, you introduce using integrating factor. So we have I of x equals to exponential integral of p of x dx. P of x dx, which same thing as integral of, what is p of x? 4 over 5x. It's going to be 4 over 5x dx. Please don't take your x up because the x is actually denominator. So in this case now, if I want to integrate everything on exponential, I can take coefficient, I can say it this way. I say exponential 4 over 5 integral of 1 all over x dx. You agree with me? Because it's actually the same way, this way. So if I integrate 1 over x, it will give me ln x. So I will have it to be exponential 4 over 5 ln x. Excuse me. 4 over 5 ln x. So don't forget, like I told you in the previous video, anytime you have exponential of the ln x, the answer always x. But in this case now, remember the law of logarithm says when you have n log x, the answer is log x raised to power n. So that's one of the property of log. So which is the same thing as ln that we're working on. Therefore, our integrating factor will be exponential ln x raised to power 4 over 5, which is the same thing is equals to s raised to power 4 over 5. So remember this law occur and it happened this way. So which is same thing as exponential ln x, which is equals to x. So I've just given us the reminder. So now our ix, we have our ix, which is our integrating factor to be x raised to power 4 over 5. So our y is equals to, that's the formula. We have it up there, 1 over ix. 1 over ix. I give us here. Y equals to 1 over ix. Integral of ix, integrating factor, multiplied by qx, the x. So that's what we are solving now. So we are going to have integral of ix, qx, the x, plus c. So we can substitute y equals to 1 over s raised to power 4 over 5. We open the brackets. Don't forget this. This is what? Integral of x 4 over 5 multiplied by qx. Qx is 3 over 5. The x plus c. So I can take it out by saying y equals to 1 all over s raised to power 4 over 5. In bracket, take this constant out. What do I have? I have 3 over 5. 3 over 5 integral of x 4 over 5, the x plus c. So I need to integrate x raised to power 4 over 5. You know that integration is plus 1. So if you want to integrate this, what do you have? Let's integrate this one. Integration of 4 over 5 is going to be s raised to power 4 over 5 plus 1 divided by 4 over 5 plus 1. So how do we resolve 4 over 5 plus 1? Anybody? Bolaji Ojo, 4/5 plus 1. Bernard Christian. God's will. Zakwe. Any of you guys? Can you hear me, please?
9/5.
9/5. Thank you. So it's going to be s raised to power 9/5 divided by 9/5. Right? So I can substitute it into my place in my y. Y equals to 1 all over s raised to power 4/5 multiplied by 3/5 dot s raised to power 9/5. Remember, it's divided by 9/5. So if I change it, I can say multiply by, okay, let me just write it so that for the benefit of doubt, 9/5 plus c. So we have y to be equal to 1 over s raised to power 4/5. So 3/5 dot s raised to power 9/5 multiplied by 5/9 plus c. So what do we have? 3 here, 1, 3 here, 3, here cancel here. So we have, in this case, 1 all over s raised to power 4/5 multiplied by 1 all over 3 s raised to power 9/5. This is 9, is not q. So plus c. So I can take this one to open the bracket here. What do I have? I want to open the bracket here. I'm going to have y equals to x 9/5 divided by 3s 4/5 plus c over s raised to power 4/5. Is that the last one? By the time you resolve this one, you are going to have your y to be equals to 1 all over 3x plus c s raised to power minus 4/5. Any question? Any question? Okay, let's look at another one. We have different scenario. The first one we did, the one we did now is just a scenario whereby if you are given something that has this form of the question, that is what we saw. So question 2, let's say we have the y of another type, the x is equals to x squared minus y over x. So for us to solve this one, you need to bring everything back to this y prime plus p of x y equals to q of x. Everything must be resolved in that manner before you can use it. So in this case now, so in this case, what we need to do is the y, we are solving it now. The x is equals to x squared minus y over x. So let's cross multiply. When you cross multiply, what do we have? We have x dy equals to x squared minus y dx. ds. So what do we do in this case? We can divide through by x dx. Divide through by x dx. Any question? Let's look at it. Is x dx okay for division of this? So when you divide through by x dx, what do we have? We have x dy over x dx equals to s squared minus y dx over s dx. So this goes with this goes with this. So at the end of the day, what do we have? So at the end of the day, what do we have? Anybody? Even though from here, if you don't even divide through, you will see what we are going to have. We are going to have y prime equals to x squared over x minus y over x. So x squared over s can cancel this one. So at the end of the day, take this one back to this one. I have y prime plus y over x equals to x. So if you write this one correctly, you have this one with y prime plus 1 all over x, y equals to x. In this case now, our P of y, our P of s is equals to 1 all over x. Our Q of x will be equals to x. Yes. Any question, please? So you can go ahead and solve the problem using integrating factor, which says integral exponential of integral of P of x dx, which same thing as exponential integral 1 all over x dx. And it's going to be exponential ln x equals to x. That is our I of x. So if our integrating factor is this, what happened to y? Our y will be 1 all over integrating factor multiplied by integral of ix q of x dx plus c. So at the, here we have y to be equals to, what is I of x? Let's go back to I of x. Our I of x is x. Substitute it here. You have it 1 all over x integral of x multiplied by, what's the q of s? Q of x, let's go up, is s. So we have it to be multiplied by x here, the x plus c. So at the end of the day, I have 1 over x integral of x squared dx plus c. If you integrate the x squared, what do you have? You have y equals to 1 over x in brackets s cubed over 3 plus c. So our y will be, this will cancel this. So you have s squared over 3 plus c over x. You can also write it in this form. You can write it in this form. Y equals to x squared over 3 plus c over s minus 1. This is the solution. Any question? Ewosa, are you together? Are we together? Victor, I can see you are going up and down. What happened?
Yes, sir. I'm here, sir.
Okay. Are you getting what we are doing?
Yes, sir. Thanks. Sir.
Okay. Ewosa, sorry, Victor. Okay, Bolaji, are you clapping or you are raising up your hand? Which one?
I'm clapping, sir. I'm getting it, sir.
Okay. God's will. Are you here or you just on your feed? You just join us.
Good day, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Are you getting what we are doing?
Yes, sir. I'm trying.
Okay, please do. No problem. So now let's look at the situation whereby if you're given a particular solution, how do you solve it? Let's look at it. Question 3. In this case, they said the y, the x. These are the questions you will see in your exam. And they want you to use, I don't know whether they will change it this time around, but it's still multiple choice. Is it multiple choice or fill in the gap?
They used to mix them up, sir.
Fill in the
They used
gap.
to mix it, sir. Multiple choice, 35
They used to mix
questions,
it.
then fill in the gap, 35 questions.
Fill in the gap, how many?
35 questions. Multiple choice also, 35 questions.
So any multiple choice they give you, how many of you have seen the question for this course before?
I've not seen it before.
I've not seen it, sir.
Better you look for one. Find the general solution. They ask us to find the general solution. B. Find particular solution where your y of 0 equals to -2. So you have to be careful at this point. I've seen this question before. Is there in your your exam? So what do we do in this case? So it's pretty simple solution. Let's look at it. You have the y, the x equals to s squared y squared So in this case now, you need to multiply both sides with So multiply both sides with y squared dx. Y squared dx. Multiply both sides with y squared dx. So if I multiply both sides y squared dx, what do I have? I will have here y squared dx dy dx. Don't forget, equals x squared y squared dot dx dot y squared dx. So the x, we cancel the x. We are doing a kind of separable variable. So this one we go with this. You can see I've managed to put all the x together and the y together. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So I will have y squared dy equals to x squared dx. You can see I managed. You can if you cross multiply two, you can do it that way. If I cross multiply, if I said this, yes, Bolaji.
I wanted to ask about cross multiplying, but you already
Yeah,
said it.
it's also applicable. But in the situation whereby it's not applicable, you can use this one. But if you cross multiply, let's see it. If I cross multiply, this will multiply this, this will multiply this. So at the end of the day, I will still have the same thing. So let's take note of that. When you are doing this course, your brain must be working 24 hours. Yes. Any other question, Bolaji, or the old one? Okay, let's continue. So at this point now, when you have this, you now said integrate both sides. Integrate both sides. What do we have? Integral of y squared dy equals to integral of x squared dx. So at the end of the day, what do we have? Let's integrate this one. You have, at the end of the day, you have y cubed over 3 plus y cubed over 3. Some might say plus C1 or plus C2 or plus C. But because we are working on this, I can say plus C1 equals to integral of, remember I have to integrate this one, s cubed over 3 plus C2. So which is simply means that 1 all over 3 y cubed equals to 1 all over 3 s cubed plus constant plus constant is still constant plus constant. So everything would be constant. Because you can't say C1 minus C2, they are not the same. So C1 minus C2 is still the same constant. Just leave it as C. Now that we have this, I can multiply 2 by 3. Multiply 2 by 3. If I multiply 2 by 3, what do I have? If I multiply 2 by 3, I will eliminate these 3. I will have 3. Remember 1 over 3. So multiply 2 by 3. equals to 3 in bracket 1 over 3 S3 plus C. So it's going to be this goes with this goes with this, and this one is also, we have Y3 plus S3 plus 3C. 3C is still C. Don't forget, 3C is still C. Constant is still constant. So we have Y3 equals to S3 plus C. So take note of that. So, but in this case, I only need Y to be my general solution. If I want to eliminate cube here, what do I need to do? Anybody? What do I need to do? If I want to make
Divide
Y
by
cube to
3.
be Y. Yes?
Divide by 3.
No.
Cube root.
Cube root.
Oh, yes,
Because
yes,
it's
yes,
power.
yes. Cube root. Yes,
You
power,
need to
yes.
find the cube root of both sides.
Both sides. Yes.
Multiply it through the cube root, or find the cube root. If I use cube root now, it's going to be cube root Y cube equals to cube root of
Yes.
S cube plus C. But if I find the cube root of this one, we cancel this. So I have Y equals to cube root of S cube plus C. That is general solution. General solution. Now, part 2 says what? It said our B is equals to Y of 0 equals to minus 2. That is our particular solution. So it simply means Y of 0 initial state at X equals to 0, Y equals to minus 2. So go back to the general solution. We have minus 2 equals to cube root of 0 cube plus C. Remember, the particular solution is interested in C. That is what it means. So at the end of the day, we have minus 2 equals to the cube root of C. So the cube root of C, we can only eliminate cube root of C by what? What do we need to do?
Raising both sides by 3. By the power
We
of
raise
3.
both sides by 3. Depend on the power of the C that we are looking at. But this one is cube root. If it is fifth root, you use fifth root, you use by 5. So this is minus 2 raised to power 3 equals to the cube root C raised to power 3. Remember, cube root C is the same thing as C raised to power 1 over 3 divided by 3. So this one cancel this. So we have minus 2 of raised to power 3 to be equals to C. So our C is equals to minus 8. Therefore, our Y is equals to, you go back to your Y. This general solution will now be cube roots of S raised to power 3 minus 8. Any question? So when you have a question of this nature, please take notes of what they ask you to find. And make sure you do it judiciously before you call it a day. So we'll do the same thing to the other one. So let's look at this question. This is question 3. Am I right? Let's look at question 4 of the same nature. Question 4. It said the y, the x equals to 2y squared, comma, that said 1 comma minus 1. Please take notes. They are giving you boundary condition. What this means is what is y when s is equals to, then I said, what is y when s is equals to 3? What is y when s equals to 3? So what is y when s is equals to 3? So you need to first of all solve it, get your c again. After that, get your y, then substitute your x equals to 3. I hope I'm clear. So solution for this type will be the y, the x equals to 2y squared. It's going to be a separable variable the way we did the other time. So if you cross multiply, what do we cross multiply on? Let's try and see whether it will work. Here we have the y equals to 2y squared dx. So in this case now, you divide both sides by 2y squared. Divide both sides by 2y squared. If I divide both sides by 2y squared, what do I have? I have the y over 2y squared equals to 2y squared dx over 2y squared. So this goes with this. At the end of the day, I have 1 over 2 dy y squared equals to dx. So I can integrate both sides. If I want to integrate both sides, what do I have? You agree with me that I can say 1 all over 2 integral of y raised to power minus 2 dy equals to integral of dx. Remember, you are still solving the differential equation. So how do we solve this one? When you integrate this, what do you have? What do you have here? Mathematician in the house. Osakwe,
Y raised power. Y raised
Yes.
power minus 1 over
Y raised to power
minus 1
minus
over
1 over what?
over minus 2.
Over minus 2. Really?
dy. I'm not sure.
You have to be sure. It's still over minus 1 now.
Oh, okay. Over minus 1.
Right?
Yeah, over minus 1, sir.
Over minus 1.
dy.
Somebody will ask, how do they get it? Is here. Look at it. Minus 2 plus 1. That is it. Minus 2 plus 1. That is integration. Am I right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Equals to anytime you integrate the x, what do you have? You have x plus c.
X.
So at the end of the day, we have minus 1 here. This will be minus half y raised to power minus 1 equals to s plus c. Any question? I can multiply both sides by what? By 2,
Two.
negative 2. Negative 2, not ordinary 2.
2, yeah, negative 2.
Yeah.
Okay, because of the
Because of this
the
negative.
reciprocal.
Negative.
Yeah.
Not reciprocal yet.
minus
It's
1 over
still
2.
negative 2. So we have it to be y. It's still we have it to be 1 all over y equals to minus 2x plus c. Remember,
C.
everything you multiply to c is still c. So in this case now, we can now flip 1 over y and it will affect this one. So when you multiply this one, you make y subject of formula. What do we have? Y equals to 1 all over negative 2x
Minus
plus
2
c.
plus C.
Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
So at the end of the day, we have y to be this. Then the question says when y equals to 1, equals to negative. Remember I said you put here 1 comma minus 1, right? So what it means is when y equals to 1, negative 1, s is equals to 1. That's the meaning. So let's substitute it. Minus 1 equals to 1 all over minus 2 into 1 plus c. So which implies that we have it to be 1 all over c minus 2 equals to minus 1. When you cross multiply, what do you have? You have it to be 1 equals to negative c minus 2. So you have it to be 1 equals to minus c plus 2. So which implies that c is equals to 2 minus 1, which is equals to 1. Our c is equals to 1. Do you agree? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, c is equals to 1. So then don't forget your y is 1 all over minus 2 x plus 1. That is your y. The question says, what is y when s is equals to 3? So you now said, when s equals 3, what happened? Your y is equal to 1 all over minus 2 into 3 plus 1. So at here you have what? Y equals to 1 all over minus 6 plus 1. Y is equals to what?
Minus 1 over minus 5.
Minus 1 over 5. So, any question? I hope it's interesting.
Yes, sir.
So the next thing is what? That is the question they ask us to solve. But let's look at the initial value problem. Let's look at it. When you're given an initial value problem, this is question what? 4. Let's look at the 5. But in this case, we have initial value problem. Call it IVP. Under the IVP, what are the things do we need to check? IVP solution. From there, we can also solve some of the problem. Let's look at it. Number one, in this case, you have the y, the x equals to 6x minus 3. Y of 0 is equals to 4. S is equals to 0. Y is equals to 4. So in this case now, what do we have? How do you solve this problem? Solution. You have the y, the x equals to 6x minus 3. So we can cross multiply. So what do you have? You have the y equals to 6x minus 3 dx. Integrate both sides. Integrate both sides. We have integral of the y equals to integral of 6x minus 3 dx. So see the y, this one will give you y. When you integrate the y, will give you y equals to, let's integrate this one. You have 6x squared over 2 minus 3x, everything plus c. So you have your y to be equals to 3x squared minus 3x plus c. That is our general solution. General solution. Now, the question now says, because you have a lot of this question in your exams, you will see y of 0. Remember, y of 0 equals to 4. It simply means that y is equals to 4 and s is equals to 0. So y equals to 4, I have it equals to 3 of 0 squared minus 3 of 0 plus c. So my c is equals to 4. I hope you are following me. My c is equals to 4. So I can write boldly here that y equals to 3x squared minus 3x plus 4. So this is my IVP solution. IVP solution. IVP solution. You have a lot, like I told you, of this type of question there. Are we all there now? Please, I want you to solve this question for me now. The y, the x equals to 2xy. The y, the x equals to 2xy. Then you have the y of 0 equals to 3. Can we try it? Please unmute yourself. Everybody unmute yourself. I want to hear your voice. God's will, can you try it? Can we all try it? Ewosa,
Yes, sir.
Bolaji.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's try.
We are trying, sir.
Okay, please, let's do it. Ozagwe. Odunayo. Are you also there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, let's try it. Try this one. Okay, any block? How many of us were able to, first of all, separate this? Who can give us what you said, the separation of the y, the x? How do you do that? Hello, guys.
So I cross multiply.
We cross multiply.
Cross multiply.
Okay. If you cross multiply, what happens? The y,
The y is equal to
yes, equals to 2xy
2xy ds.
Over
over what? No, wait.
We cross multiply. We use ds to multiply. Now the dy equals to 2xy ds.
Okay, let me delete this one so that I can follow you guys the way you do your own. The x, okay? After that,
We divide both sides with 2x.
you divide both sides with 2x again.
2xy.
Integrate.
Okay.
If you divide both sides, what do you use? You only need to divide both sides with y. Divide both sides with y. This is y. This is y. This one will go with this. And you have the y equals 2x
2x dx.
Yes.
This integration. How many of us got it to this point? How many of us, if you did, if you don't get this step, you cannot get anything. So if you get into this point, remember I told you integral of 1 over y dy equals to integral of 2x dx. Then you can integrate this area. When you integrate 1 over y, what do you get? When you integrate 1 over y, you have what? Ln y.
Ln y.
Yes. Equals to 2x squared over 2 plus c. So at the end of the day, you have this. These two cancel 2. You have ln y equals to x squared plus c. Remember, we only need y. The only thing that can separate ln y from y is exponential. So we need to take exponential of both sides. So we have exponential of ln y equals to exponential of x squared plus c. So this go with this. You have it to be y equals to exponential s squared dot exponential c. Why we dot? Because multiplication addition, when you have log a plus log b, is the same thing as what? Log ab, right? Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we use this principle here because this is log, this is plus, will become dots. So, and we know that anything with exponential, anything with c, constant is still constant. Y is equals to c exponential x squared. Remember, we said y of 0 equals to 3.
Yes,
That is x equals to 0, y equals to what?
3.
Y equals to 3. So we can proceed by saying y equals to 3 equals to c. Remember, exponential of 0 is 1. So we have 3 equals to c into 1. So our c is equals to 3. Then I can go back to my equation y and substitute remember my y is here. I will just write y equals to 3 exponential x squared. This is your IVP solution. Any question? Does it make sense to us? Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Yes, it does, sir.
Okay, we welcome. Also, they can give you in another form, part of the exercise that we have, but you might still be, well, it's still applicable to you guys. Let me give you, what is this? Let's look at question 3 on this particular form. Find the particular solution of the differential equation of the differential equation given the initial condition. Given the initial condition. That said, f prime of x is equals to 6x squared minus 5, and f1 of x is equals to 4. So another thing is f prime prime of x is equals to 2x minus 3, comma f prime of x, no, f prime of 1 rather, is equals to 2, and f0 of is equals to 3. Excuse me. So if you are given this kind of question, you'll be like, how do you solve this one? It's pretty simple. Always remember where you are coming from. So where you are coming from will lead you to where you are going. You and I know that if I integrate f prime of 1, okay, who can tell us what is the meaning of this solution now? Let's look at it. Whether you grab it. F prime of x is what? It's the same thing as the y dx. That is first derivative. Do you agree with me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
That is the first derivative. F prime prime of x is second derivative. Then f of x is number y. So please take note of that. So by the time I'm solving it, so that you won't say, oh, what is this guy saying? So we have f prime prime. We said, what is f prime prime? Is 2x minus 3. Integrate both sides. The x equals to integral of 2x minus 3 dx. I know if I integrate this one, it cannot cancel the O2. It can only cancel only one prime. So I'm going to have f prime here equals to, I will integrate this one. What do I have? 2x squared over 2 minus 3x plus c. Don't forget. So my f prime of x will be x squared minus 3.
Minus 3.
Minus 3x plus c. Let's go back to our condition. Our condition says we need to get the c now. The first condition says what? It says f prime of 1 is equals to 2. So it simply means f prime of 1 equals to 2, meaning this place is equals to 2 when s is equals to 1. So you have, if you solve it very well, you have 2 equals to 1 minus 3. So this is minus 2, cross to the other side. This is 4 equals to c. So I can rewrite my f prime of x to be equals to x squared minus 3x plus 4. Any question? Is that the solution? No. So you still need to integrate again. F prime of x dx equals to integral of x squared minus 3x plus 4 dx. So what will happen here? This will be f. This will be what? What the answer will be here? When you integrate this one, when you integrate f prime of x, what do you have?
X.
You have what? F of x. Remember, equals to integrate this one, x cubed over 3 minus 3x squared plus 4x plus, let's call this one d, because we use c up now. So the solution here now says, when you have f of 0, comma 3, f of 0, comma 3 is what? It simply means f of 0 equals to 3. It simply means 3 equals to 0 cubed over 3 minus 3 of 0 squared over 2 plus 4 of 0 plus d. So it's simply d is equals to 3. Then our f of x equals to what? F of x equals to what? Any question, please? Hello? Are we there?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes,
can
sir.
we solve this question
Where
now?
did it? Is the D that is the 3 that you added, sir?
I just added d instead
This is
of,
another
it's a
constant.
constant.
Okay.
This is another constant.
It's another constant. Remember, we use c up.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
can we solve this one now? Can we solve it separately? Everybody, solve this one. Let's see what you get. Before we call it a day, let's quickly solve it. And also, let me give you another question. F prime prime of x equals to x squared minus 4. F prime of 2 equals to 3. F1 equals to minus 4. So I want you to solve these two too. Making two questions. Any question? The solution in this case is what, please? For the first one, what did you get?
Sorry, sir.
Any question? Oh, people have run away. Okay. Do we have any question? I believe you should be able to solve that question. The first one is not that hard. And the second one is the same thing we did now. Just follow the same steps. The first one says, the first one will say f prime, excuse me, of x equals to 6x squared minus 5. And f of 1 equals to 4. We know the way you solve it. When you integrate this one, what do you have? So here you have f of x equals to 6x cubed divided by 3 minus 5x plus c. So, and you know f1, when x is equals to, this is 4 equals to, here 1, here 2, you have 2x raised to power 3 minus 5x plus c. So f of 1 equals to f of 1 equals to 4. So put the 4 here equals to 2 of 1 cubed minus 5 of 1 plus c. 4 equals to 2 minus 5. This is minus 3. This is 7 equals to c. So your f of x equals to what? 2x cubed minus 5x plus 7. How many of us got this one?
So I got it.
You got it. So it's very simple. So you do the same thing to this one. Follow the steps. After integration, first one, you have c plus constant. The second constant can be k, can be anything, depends on you. And I so much believe you will get the same thing. So if you do it very well, the answer is a bit complicated, but you can manage it, I believe. So any question? Did you enjoy your time, or is it a wasting of time?
Oh.